The situation is worse than what we see.
Wait a second. Did you say 5 years?
5 years. Studies are showing us that of the children that are in mining, the ones between 5 to 14 years, over 12,000.
And what are they doing in mining again? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the Everything Energy and Extractives podcast, brought to you by Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals. My name is Humphrey Asimwe, and I'm the Chief Executive of Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals. And with me today is the one and only, the only one, Miss Mubuke Kevin from Save the Children. Save the Children, one of our partners as the chamber, and their area of interest particularly, you will tell us more. You will tell us more. Yes. But first of all, tell us more about yourself. Who is Kevin?
Thank you, Humphrey. My name is Kevin Mubuke. I work with Save the Children. I'm the head of child protection and child rights at Save the Children. Mm-hmm. My role is to oversee our child protection programming to ensure that we are implementing on quality, that our interventions are up to speed, and that at the end of the day, all our interventions are aimed at protecting children, and that our partners are doing the same. And at the end of the day, we are here for the well-being of children. So on a daily basis, I am working on protecting children. You're working on protecting children. Yes.
Very, very important role, because Uganda as a country is a young nation.
True.
78% of Ugandans are below the age of 30. Probably half of those are below the age of 15. We have mainly children in this country.
That's true.
Right? And those who are above 30 are children of God. You'll be fine. But even as that happens, there are a couple of safeguard issues around children in mining, especially if we can target mining. Yes. Uganda is predominantly artisanal mining. We do artisanal and small-scale mining. Over 600,000 people registered in artisanal mining, but a good number of them below the age of 18. What is the situation like when it comes to children in mining? What does your data show you? What does, because you have a finger on the pulse in when it comes to children and safeguarding children. What are you seeing in the mining sector when it comes to children?
Without being passionate, as usual, I would say the situation is bad. The situation is worse than what we see.
Okay.
Because within Uganda, studies are showing us that of the children that are in mining, the ones between 5 to 14 years, over 12,000, 12 to 14 years, over 12,000 are children. 12,000 children. Now think about
12,000 children between what age again?
5 and 14 years.
Wait a second. Did you say 5 years?
5 years. Think about your 5-year-old.
No, I have a 5-year-old at home. And what are they doing in mining again?
They are in the mines vending. They are in the mines picking soil and searching for gold the whole day. They are in the mines carrying basins of water. They are digging sand. They are in stone quarries. They are doing several things, and these are as young as 5 years, 6 years. Just think about it. And these are within this country. You will move into a deep pit and find children, and after staying the whole day under the scorching sun, in the evening, this young girl of 10 years will then look for a vendor to buy that gold, so-called gold, from them. Now look at the risks associated with that. We see a lot of sexual slavery, for lack of a better word. because then they take advantage of them. Sometimes they are exploited, very little they earn from that, because at the end of the day they have to go home with food. But even before we go there, when we go back to the mining area where children are spending that day, are there washrooms? No. Is there food for them? No. So what are they picking from there? At the end of the day, these children are robbed of their childhood. As a 5-year-old, you're already thinking of economics. How much do I get at the end of the day? As a 5-year-old, you're not going to school because you have to get something for the family. You are a 7-year-old, but your mind is, how do I survive? That affects their health,
Definitely.
that affects their morals, that affects their emotions, and those are the children that we want to be better citizens of this country tomorrow.
They are the ones with the future of this country.
Yes, and this is in every part of this country. So you don't think that I'm comfortable, I come from Central. There is a problem there. Oh, I come from the East. It's all over this country. And it's hidden. Because when I was coming here, I didn't see any mining happening.
No, you didn't.
It will not come to people very easily because it's somewhere far away from our presence. Even in the communities, think about Karamoja in the Rupa community where mining is done. If you're just moving in Moroto, you wouldn't know this is happening. But
till you get to the...
Thank you. Even Busia, for example.
Wow. You left me somewhere on the 5-year-old. That is where I thought, wait a second. So I started imagining, all right, so a 5-6-year-old is doing what?
Mining.
Okay. All right. Recalibrating. Now, 12,000 children... Over 12,000. The ones that have been documented at 12,000 are in the mining sector between the ages of 5 and 14. I mean, those are children, literally. What is driving children there? What do you think has caused this situation? Because when we do a root cause analysis, then we are able to find adequate solutions.
What's causing most of these problems is poverty. I hate to say poverty, but that's the reality. Lack of necessities. So this parent needs to find food for the family.
Yes.
They cannot find it. Even if they decided to take the child to school, education is free and not free. Because even when it's free and compulsory, there are charges there that a parent needs. Yes. In some situations, the schools are far. So even children will weigh between walking to school and I'm hungry. What do? I would rather stay home and find something to eat because even when I come back home, I'll come back to an empty stomach. Yeah. So poverty is a problem. Our education infrastructure, our education system is not motivating children to choose between being in the mines and being at school. But also when you look at the communities where mining is being done, they are usually very poor communities. The schools are far, infrastructure, all the facilities are far from them. But we also have problems around, I will want to call them community norms. I do not want to say cultural norms. They are community norms. Children must work. Even when you're talking about child labor, somebody's like, what do you mean? Children have to work.
Yes.
But we are saying children have to work without being deprived of their childhood. We cannot rob them of their childhood. They can work, do work to help them grow, slight work to help them grow. Children can do work during the school holiday, but what community calls children work is work that is heavy on them, that is causing them illness, that is stopping them from going to school. So also many times there are limited opportunities. Look at the mining area in Mubende. If they don't go to the mines, what else can they do? So the opportunities are really limited. But most importantly, the awareness. Like I talked about community norms. Many people are doing these things and they do not know.
Yeah, because that is the way they grew up.
Exactly.
I grew up in the mines. My children will grow up in the mines because we are all miners, as it was in the beginning, so it is, and forever shall it be.
They will even say it's in our DNA.
Exactly.
We cannot do anything
else. We can detect gold in our sleep, so why bother?
And one thing I learned about the mining community, they say that children's eyes are sharper.
Oh,
yes.
All right.
So I heard the children's eyes are sharper. They can easily see the gold as compared to the adults.
Yeah. Wow. That's a very interesting notion. So and when we talk about poverty driving this narrative, it's interesting. It's a very and those are some of the things that, as a Chamber of Energy and Minerals, we are passionate about finding solutions. Because if Uganda is exporting gold worth $3.7 billion per year, and Uganda is our biggest export is gold, 3.7 billion. The next is coffee. Coffee is 1.9 billion. It's half.
Gold is bigger than coffee.
Yes, gold is twice coffee. Okay, wow. And it's coming from these communities that you're describing, but it's coming from communities that are not getting the value, that are not part and parcel of this whole. I think there is work that we need to do. What can we do to end this narrative? You've mentioned one, awareness. But what can we do to end this narrative? And I want you to speak to, first of all, there is the policy maker. Then there is the local leader, that LC5, that LC3. But then there is the ordinary Ugandan who comes from that village, yes, and sees it, but looks the other way.
True.
Leaves a 5-year-old in a pit 400 meters below ground. What can we do?
Thank you. I know there's so much we can do. And looking at the different structures that you have mentioned, I don't want to start with government, because government is here, but I'm here and I see the children on a daily basis.
You see that, yes.
Or I am programming in my capacity for these children.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we need to do start with beyond awareness creation. Start with looking. Well, I want to appreciate government, first of all. They have done something.
Okay.
Even in the recent past, we've seen that we've received a small additional funding to go towards child labor.
Okay.
There is a recognition. There are policies in place. There are action plans in place. Yes, but starting with government, they need to do more. We have policies in place. How are they being enforced?
Yes.
When we talk about enforcement and we are looking at labor officers at the district level, imagine a district has how many sub-counties?
Yeah.
Say 20 sub-counties.
That's true.
When will this labor officer reach the sub-county? And that's if that district is lucky to have one. So can we have local enforcers who are next to the mining?
Yes.
Can we have abrupt checkups on enforcement? So we need to have enforcement.
Yes.
But also we need coordinated effort. When I start at the labor officer. The labor officer can only do so much.
Yes.
But that labor officer needs to coordinate with me, needs to coordinate with you, needs to coordinate with the teachers, with the parents, with the children, and we all work together towards this problem, because we all have something to do. Because it doesn't help for the labor officer to enforce and then there is no school. So
that's true.
The children are seated at home. Yes, you have told us to go to school.
Which school?
Thank you.
There needs to be a school, there needs to be an alternative.
Thank you. Or the labor officer is victimizing the parents that are coming with children.
Okay.
And we need to see prosecution, but nothing is being done. Parents, there is no example for somebody to know that if I take my children to this mine, then this will happen.
Yes.
So we need to work together, coordinated efforts for everybody to do something.
Very important.
We have many social protection programs, PDM. Are they targeting that person in their minds? And me and you at this level, how are we supporting that person in their minds to know about these programs and even know them? But also we can have pilots, a protection something for just that community, for them to get out of the mines and have alternative livelihoods.
Yes.
The mines provide quick cash. Everyday cash.
It's daily cash.
And then us are saying no child labor and are going with words and saliva.
That is true.
What do we expect them to do?
They'll go back tomorrow.
Thank you very much. If there are loopholes in the actions that we have planned, in the policies, we need to look into those, but make sure they are being enforced. So at the end of the day, there is something that everybody needs to do. The school needs to be available, and it needs to be having the facilities. The parents needs to be sensitized and provided with alternative livelihood. Government needs to do its part. Development partners need to do their part. So it's a coordinated effort.
Very, very important aspect you're talking about here. Usually in changing community paradigms, if you want to change a community's trajectory or the way they think or the way they're doing things, one key aspect is getting the community to self-regulate.
Yes.
The community must be its own because yes, government can only enforce to a certain extent.
True.
And the price of enforcement is steep. Okay? Not every district will have a labor officer. Not every district will be able to reach the 20 sub-counties of their, But how do we get these mining communities to self-regulate? Because at the end of the day, when they do that, then they will police themselves. They will not allow this 5-year-old in a mine.
True.
They will not, because there will be, sensitization is happening. What else can we do around the mining communities to get them to be their own self-regulators so that we roll back child labor in the mining industry?
One of the approaches that we've tried around mining in Karamoja is we have formed groups of artisanal miners. They are in groups, and these groups are trained, for example, on child rights and business principles.
Okay.
They are trained, they have bylaws governing them, and they are policing each other.
Right.
So within there already they know what to do, but they have to be supported to be self-sustaining.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, as a chairperson or a leader of this group, I'm telling this mother, you can't bring this child, but the mother is saying, I'm sick and we don't have food at home.
Exactly.
So if children, for example, are operating machines, or children are doing things that machines could do, can we support them with machinery to do this work so they don't need children?
They don't need children, yes.
In these mines.
Okay.
But also I know that sensitization is just the top of it, but even we as programmers need to look at this poverty we keep talking about as a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Because these people, yes, are poor and we have done nothing. Then they are not sending their children to school. Because children are not educated, then all they are looking at is this mine.
Yes.
And then it continues and continues and continues. How do we break that?
That's true.
We need to be looking at bits and pieces that keep contributing to this problem. But most importantly, what kind of generation do we groom exposed to toxic substances right from the age of 5?
From the age of 5. So you mentioned some very key aspects, that there is support required for the community leaders. There is a need to have communities policing themselves and policing each other. But then also, as they are doing that enforcement and that self-regulation, are we providing alternatives for the young people?
Yes.
How are we helping this child go to school? How are we making school an option? Attractive, yes. An option for them to say, you know what, instead of being here, I would prefer to be in school.
Yes.
What can we do around that?
I think I want to say that if all of us can understand that the only workplace for a child is school.
Okay.
The only place a child should be is school.
Yeah.
Is that the first thing, can we make schools available for children? Can we make schools safe for children?
Yes.
Can we make schools comfortable? Can we make education affordable? We noted during COVID that we had a lot of challenges.
Yes.
I am very passionate about child protection, but I can tell you that I am able to talk and do and implement and program for child protection only if schools are open. Because a child's only duty station, the safest duty station, is at school.
Is the school.
So the first thing we have to deal with are the schools available. By the way, if you went to those mining areas, you could find one proper school in a sub-county.
Wow.
A child has to walk 15 kilometers to a school. How many will do that?
And 2 kilometers to the mine.
Exactly. So first of all, even before anything, can we make education priority? That the schools are there, that when the enforcement officer comes to the mine, they are taking children to this school and the school is receptive. That when we are leaving a mother at home to look for food for the family, she understands that education is sorted.
Okay.
My role is to look for
the
food to feed the family.
Yeah.
So first thing, can we make education affordable? Secondly, enforcement of our policies, of our laws. Can we enforce them? Can we have real examples of members of the private sector that are exploiting children? Persecuted. So we need enforcement of the. So I believe we have so many regulations.
Yes.
Of course, many times as programmers, you want things to point to the specific issue that we are talking about. But even the Constitution is clear.
It is clear about
we have
child protection.
a national
That's
child
true.
labor policy.
Yes.
The Children's Act. We don't need more. If only we can implement those to the dot, I think we'll move steps in the right direction.
Very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. As we come towards the end of this podcast, Everything Energy and Extractives podcast brought to you by the Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals. I'm talking to Madame Kevin here, and she is shocking my socks off. I mean, 5-year-olds, wow, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 14-year-olds in mines.
Do you know that in our normal households, many of us here, a 7-year-old cannot wash their own underwear?
Well, yeah.
In many households?
There are many Jadens, yes.
But think about a 5-year-old carrying a basin. They always carry those basins with soil and water. This is a 5-year-old. Even before they start school, there is no hope for school.
Very important discussions. There is a clear message to public sector, to government, about making sure that our education is affordable, our education is attractive, our education is available.
Yes.
You know, and also, and it's easy to make it available, to get to know where are these mining communities, and we say, can we make sure we put accessible schools close by?
And between
good
me
ones,
and you,
yes.
we need to put a lamp on those mining communities.
Yes.
They are hidden behind those stones.
Yes.
We need to expose them to the world. When I'm driving to work in the morning, I see children on the street and I'm touched. And even when I'm doing my programming, even when I go to bed, all the examples I give are about these children because they are in my face.
You can see them.
But when it comes to the mines, they are hidden.
They are slightly somewhere else.
Thank you. The services are not there. We need to put a lamp there for the world to see the needs of these children.
Very true. So what we are going to do is this. For me, I'll take you to the mines. I have access to the mines. Take you to the mines. You come and we draft solutions. We craft solutions. As we close, I want you to speak to the Ugandan. The Ugandan that is in the neighborhood of these mines. The Ugandan that owns these mines. The Ugandan that has that mining license. Okay? The Ugandan that is making money. This 3.7 billion is not going into the air. What would you want to say to them?
Thank you. To the Ugandan watching me today, the Ugandan benefiting from the exports of gold, the Ugandan that is benefiting from the labor of those little hands of children that are suffering under the scorching sun every day, I call upon you to end child labor. We need each other to eradicate child labor in this country. In your neighborhood, in Kampala here, in Kampala Metropolitan, in Mubende, in Fort Portal, in the southwest and everywhere, there is a child that is working as a house help. In your neighborhood, there is a child that is in a stone quarry and spending the entire day there. Can you help a child? Can you sensitize your community? Can you reach out? Can we make policies for our children that will benefit them? And then to the Ugandan in the mining areas, I want to tell you that the only legitimate workplace for a child is the school and not the mines. Let us get children out of the mines. Let us send children to school, and we will see a better Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I couldn't say it any better. I can't add on to that except right now I'm thinking about my 5-year-olds. Do something. Let's do our part. Let's make sure that we end child labor even in mining. Thank you very much, Madam Kevin. It has been nice. Hope to see you again soon. God bless you.
Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals for a sustainable future.